A woman almost lost her foot after it was impaled by a metal moped side stand in a crash, leaving her bone exposed, while riding a moped in Bali in flip-flops. Angel Willows, 28, was in Indonesia with her cousin when they crashed after hitting a pothole. They hit the concrete road and Angel was left with the combined weight of the scooter and her cousin on top of her. The metal bike pierced through her left foot. Angel was rushed to a nearby hospital in agony, but claims her cousin, who is a nurse, had to inform hospital staff the wound needed washing before being stitched up. Angel had stitches, but claims they weren't done properly, and her foot continued to bleed heavily before starting to turn yellow. After she had it redressed by a chemist, her cousin suggested she get her injuries seen by doctors in Australia, where they still had days left on their visa. Upon landing in Sydney, Australia, 3 days after the accident, doctors told Angel her foot was badly infected, and she could have lost it due to the poor stitches. She underwent 3 washout surgeries to clean the wound while doctors waited to see if it would start to heal. But the wound continued to worsen, with her skin turning black and yellow, and doctors were forced to remove all the dying skin before taking skin tissue from Angel's groin in a skin flap surgery. After a month in hospital, Angel was discharged and is recovering in Australia, and has vowed to only wear trainers on bikes from now on. Angel, a personal trainer, from Guildford, Surrey, said, "To be honest, I didn't realize how bad it was until I got to Australia. I just thought I'd be in and out with more stitches, but it was much worse than I originally thought. It was scary when they said I could have lost my foot, because of how bad the infection was. They said it was really badly infected." Initially, Angel thought the crash, which happened 3 weeks into their trip, wasn't as bad as it ended up being. She said, "I was in shock. I thought I just needed a plaster initially. We went to the closest emergency place and they gave me stitches. It was a bad job. My cousin is a nurse and she was having to give them instructions. When I got to Australia, they told me how bad it was. It just didn't stop bleeding after they stitched it up. I had to have my foot just over a bucket whilst it filled up with blood. It was turning a horrible color." After arriving back in Australia, where they'd been traveling for 10 months before the severity of Angel's injuries began to set in, she underwent a first washout surgery on the day she arrived at the hospital while doctors assessed her options. She said, "They said I was lucky that I got there when I did. I had a wound washout surgery the first day I got there. I think I still had grit in the wound." Over the coming days, Angel had 2 further washout surgeries, but her skin failed to heal and improve. Doctors made the decision to perform skin flap surgery on her foot, taking a part of skin from her groin to replace the skin on her foot. She said, "So they did the washout 3 times, but as the skin kept dying they told me they'd need to take a chunk from my leg to replace it. They prepared me and said I'd have to look at the open wound, and I had to stand under the shower with my bone exposed and wash it out before surgery. It was painful and a bit of a shock, but they were injecting me with morphine throughout. Then they marked out where they were going to take the skin from on my groin before putting me to sleep. After I woke up I needed a boot to learn to walk again, which took a couple of months. I've got what kind of looks like a big birthmark on top of my foot now. It's just part of my story." Though she has since been on a motorbike, she says she'll be staying well clear of the flip-flops. She said, "I've been super cautious when riding them now, always trainers. If I had trainers on I certainly don't think it would have been as bad."